They looked premium, they had all the hype, and some of them sold for over $60,000 brand new. But now, they're worth less than a used hatchback. In this video, we're diving into 9 cars that have completely tanked in value. The ones that seemed like smart buys but are now sitting unsold, unwanted, and worth a fraction of what people paid. Some are luxury sedans, some are SUVs, and one is a cutting-edge EV that was supposed to change the game, but ended up being a financial disaster. If you're thinking about buying a used car, especially one of these 9, watch this video all the way through. Because some of them might look like a great deal, but the hidden costs will bleed your wallet dry. And the car at number 3? It depreciated so fast it makes Bitcoin look stable. Let's get into it. Number 9, Jaguar I-Pace. On paper, the Jaguar I-Pace had everything going for it. A premium electric SUV with sleek styling, luxury-grade comfort, and performance that rivaled Tesla. It won awards. It got glowing reviews. It was supposed to be Jaguar's electric future. But now, it's one of the fastest depreciating EVs on the market. Used I-Paces have collapsed in value, often selling for less than half their original price after just a few years. Why? Because underneath that sleek shell, the I-Pace suffers from critical pain points. Owners report slow charging speeds, limited real-world range, and a clunky infotainment system. Worse, its resale market is nearly non-existent. Dealers don't want them, private buyers avoid them, and leasing companies are taking huge losses. In the UK and US, many I-Paces are sitting unsold for months, even when heavily discounted. The problem isn't just EV market saturation, it's that the Jaguar brand doesn't hold the same electric cachet as Tesla or even Hyundai. Add in high maintenance costs, questionable long-term reliability, and no real charging network, and you've got a car that's great for headlines but terrible for your wallet. And the next car on this list, it's not electric, but it's dying just as fast. Coming up, a luxury sedan that's disappearing from production lines and from people's driveways. 8 Chrysler 300. The Chrysler 300 once stood as an icon of American road presence. Bold, wide, muscular. It was the kind of car that made a statement, especially with that big V8 rumble. But today, it's fading into oblivion, and fast. The 300 has become a victim of its own legacy. While it still looks intimidating, buyers are waking up to the reality. Old tech, outdated interior, and sluggish resale value. Chrysler has barely updated the model in over a decade, and it shows. No modern infotainment, no hybrid options, no adaptive safety systems unless you buy top trims. And now that the sedan market is collapsing in both the US and UK, the 300 is practically unsellable. Dealerships are dumping inventory at record low prices, and used models are plummeting in value. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when this car vanishes entirely. And here's the kicker. Insurance and fuel costs are high, but demand is low. That means terrible trade-in offers and private resale? Almost impossible. So unless you're buying one to live out a gangster movie fantasy, skip it. Next, an SUV that once dominated suburban driveways, now sitting unsold, unwanted, and unloved. 7. Ford Edge. At one point, the Ford Edge was the perfect middle ground SUV. Not too big, not too small, yet packed with features, decent comfort, and a smooth V6 option. For suburban America, it was a no-brainer. But fast forward to today, the Edge has hit a dead end. Ford officially announced they're discontinuing the model, and that has torpedoed its resale value. Dealers are struggling to move them, used prices are collapsing, and buyers are steering clear of a car with no future support. And that's just the start. The Edge is plagued by reliability issues, especially transmission failures, electrical gremlins, and infotainment glitches that never seem to get resolved. Parts availability is also becoming a problem, especially for older trims. Mechanics are reporting longer wait times and rising costs for basic repairs. And in the UK, it was a complete flop. Sales were so bad that Ford pulled the plug early. So here's the brutal truth. If you own a Ford Edge, expect it to lose thousands in value in the next 12 to 18 months. And if you're thinking of buying one used because it's cheap, remember why it's cheap in the first place. Next up, a luxury sedan that tried to take on the Germans but ended up collecting dust in American garages. Number 6. Cadillac CT6. On paper, the Cadillac CT6 should have been America's answer to the BMW 7 Series and Mercedes S-Class. Full-size luxury. Advanced technology optional twin-turbo V6, and even a plug-in hybrid variant. But in reality, it was a financial disaster for GM and for anyone who bought one. Despite all the marketing hype, the CT6 never really found its audience. Too sporty for traditional Cadillac buyers, too bland for those looking at German competitors, and as a result, sales tanked. What does that mean for you? Depreciation. Brutal, unrelenting depreciation. Some CT6 models lost over 50% of their value in just 3 years. And the worst part? Maintenance costs stayed high. This isn't a Chevy. You're dealing with premium parts, complex electronics, and an engine lineup that includes rare configurations with limited support. In the UK, good luck even finding one. Cadillac's presence is virtually non-existent, and resale is a nightmare. The CT6 might have luxury looks, but it comes with all the downsides of owning an orphaned flagship. Low demand, expensive upkeep, and no brand loyalty. So unless you want to drive a car that feels prestigious but costs you like a German luxury money pit, walk away. Next, a rugged SUV that promised adventure but turned into a mechanical migraine. 5. Land Rover Discovery Sport. If you hear Land Rover and think adventure, prestige, or off-road legend, you're not alone. But the Discovery Sport? It's more like a masterclass in how to ruin a premium SUV with bad engineering. Let's start with reliability, or the lack of it. Owners have reported constant electrical gremlins, infotainment glitches, and worst of all, engine failures. Yes, full-on engine replacements before hitting 60,000 miles in some cases. The culprit? A poorly designed cooling system that causes engines to overheat and seize. And no, the warning lights don't always come on in time. Add to that the infamous ZF 9-speed transmission, known for clunky shifts, laggy response, and in some cases, total failure. What does this mean for you? Resale value has collapsed. Used Discovery Sports are sitting on dealer lots with massive discounts, and still nobody wants them. Maintenance costs are sky high, and finding qualified mechanics outside a Land Rover dealership? Good luck. It's the worst of both worlds, a car that's expensive to own and worthless to sell. And in markets like the UK and US, where buyers expect Land Rovers to be reliable lifestyle vehicles, this one has left a trail of disappointed owners and broken bank accounts. Coming up, a family sedan that was once a rental car hero, now it's just a resale horror story. Number 4. Chevrolet Malibu. The Chevrolet Malibu used to be everywhere. Rental fleets, corporate lots, suburban driveways. It was marketed as the smart choice for American families, but now it's more like a cautionary tale on 4 wheels. So what went wrong? First off, engine failure. Many Malibu models, especially those with the 1.5-liter and 2.0-liter turbocharged engines, have suffered from premature internal damage, often due to oil consumption, cooling system failures, or timing chain issues. Some owners report knocking, stalling, or total loss of power before 60,000 miles. But that's just the beginning. The CVT and 6-speed transmissions are notorious for rough shifts, delayed engagement, and full breakdowns. Add to that an electrical system prone to glitches, infotainment freezes, power steering failures, and even dashboard blackouts. And you've got a car that's unpredictable at best, dangerous at worst. And let's not forget, the Malibu's resale value has tanked. Dealers don't want them. Private buyers avoid them. And parts? Expensive. You're left with a car that nobody wants to buy, but everybody wants to get rid of. If you find a used Malibu that seems like new for a bargain price, there's a reason. And it's probably not a good one. Coming up, a Japanese SUV that once had a bulletproof reputation, now it's blowing through oil like it's free. 3. Nissan Murano. The Nissan Murano was once seen as the cool, slightly upscale cousin in the midsize SUV market. It had sleek styling, a comfy interior, and a V6 that felt smooth and refined. But fast forward a few years and the Murano has become one of the most regrettable used buys on the road. The main culprit? The transmission. Nissan's infamous CVT, continuously variable transmission, strikes again, this time in a heavier, more demanding SUV. Owners report shuddering, slipping, jerking, and total failure often before 70,000 miles. And when that CVT goes, it's a $4,000 to $6,000 bill minimum. But it doesn't stop there. Some Murano models suffer from steering rack failures, electrical gremlins, and intermittent loss of power during acceleration. One moment it drives fine, the next it hesitates dangerously at a traffic light. And good luck diagnosing the problem. Many shops throw parts at it, hoping something sticks. And the worst part? These issues often show up after the powertrain warranty expires, but long before you'd expect a car in this price range to fall apart. So yes, it may look sharp and ride smooth, but if you value reliability and long-term peace of mind, the Murano might leave you stranded, both mechanically and financially. Up next, a British executive saloon with luxury aspirations and a depreciation curve that'll make your wallet cry. 2. Infiniti QX60. Luxury looks, budget engineering, nightmare ownership. At first glance, the Infiniti QX60 seems like a brilliant buy. Sleek design, 7 seats, a well-appointed interior, and the prestige of a premium badge. It promises upscale comfort without the price tag of a German SUV. But beneath that leather-wrapped facade lies one of the most disappointing mechanical packages in its segment. Let's start with the elephant in the room, the CVT transmission. Infiniti, in all its wisdom, decided to pair Nissan's notoriously fragile, continuously variable transmission with a 2-ton luxury SUV. The result? Catastrophic. Drivers complain of constant juddering, random power surges, loss of acceleration, and complete failure, often before 60,000 miles. Once it goes, you're looking at a $5,000 to $8,000 repair bill, and that's if you can even find a specialist willing to touch it. But the problems don't stop there. The 3.5-liter V6, while decent on paper, suffers from timing chain issues, oil leaks, and valve body failures. Some owners report a high-pitched whining sound as early as 40,000 miles, a classic sign the timing chain is wearing prematurely. And then there's the electronics. Infotainment freezes, parking sensors glitch, backup cameras cut out randomly, dashboard lights light up like a Christmas tree with false warnings. It all adds up to a driving experience that's more frustrating than luxurious. But perhaps the worst part of owning a QX60? Depreciation. This SUV sheds value faster than a dropped iPhone. Many used models lose over 50% of their value within 3 years. So while it might seem like a bargain on the secondhand market, what you're really buying is a ticking time bomb, with repair bills that wipe out any savings. Bottom line, the QX60 is a perfect example of style over substance. It looks premium, feels plush, but under the surface it's all smoke and mirrors. If you're shopping for a luxury family SUV, skip this one, unless your idea of quiet luxury includes the sound of your bank account screaming. Number 1. Vauxhall Insignia. The executive bargain that aged like milk. At launch, the Vauxhall Insignia looked like a clever alternative to prissier German rivals. It had the styling of an executive saloon, decent tech, and was priced to undercut everything from the BMW 3 Series to the Ford Mondeo. Company car drivers loved it. Fleet managers ordered them by the truckload. It seemed like the perfect balance of value, comfort, and practicality. But fast forward a few years, and the Insignia has become the used car that nobody wants. Why? Because beneath that sleek silhouette is a cocktail of long-term problems that only get worse with age. Start with the electronics. The infotainment system is glitchy, warning lights love to throw false alarms, and ECU faults can literally immobilize the car without warning. Then there's the diesel version, particularly the 2.0 CDTI. Owners report endless issues with DPF blockages, EGR valve failures, turbo lag, injector faults, and premature timing belt wear. And while it's falling apart under the bonnet, it's not exactly making up for it in the driving experience. The suspension is floaty and vague, the steering lacks feedback, and the interior, once considered refined, is now a symphony of rattles, creaks, and cheap plastic fatigue. But here's the final nail in the coffin: depreciation. Fleet cars have flooded the used market, crashing resale values. Dealers can't shift them. You'll see 5- or 6-year-old Insignias with laughably low prices, and there's a reason for that. Once out of warranty, they become financial liabilities. Fixing one major issue often costs more than the car's actual value. If you're a mature driver in the UK seeking a reliable, comfortable saloon, this isn't it. There are far better options in the used market, and the Insignia has proven that a low sticker price often hides a long, expensive headache. It may have looked smart once. Now it just looks like a mistake. Not every car that looks like a bargain is a bargain. Some of the models on this list might be tempting. Luxury badges, flashy features, low used prices. But remember this: a cheap car that breaks early is never cheap. Whether it's an unreliable CVT, an oil-burning engine, or electronics that fail just out of warranty, these vehicles have one thing in common: They'll drain your wallet faster than you can say, "Good deal." So before you buy, do your homework. Check owner forums, look up recalls. Ignore the badge, trust the data. And if you've owned one of these lemons, drop a comment below and share your horror story. Let others know what really happens after 60,000 miles. And don't forget, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss a breakdown like this. Next week, we're revealing 7 used SUVs that just won't die, even with 200,000 miles on the clock. You won't want to miss it. Until then, buy smart.